Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir.
How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. It's Monday.
All day long.
All day. Monday, September the 8th. We'll be joined by AJ McCarron momentarily. We'll wrap up week. I can't keep track of
Call
it
2.
We'll wrap up weeks. The week of college football, week 1 of the NFL. Still one NFL game to play, but we'll talk about some of the games and all of that stuff with AJ. Get to appreciate all you guys being in the stream with us. Hope everybody had a great weekend as we get ready to embark on a new one. We're going to get rolling here pretty quick because AJ's on a little bit of a time crunch, so we'll get to him momentarily. So thanks for being with us. Hang tight. We'll get rolling. Welcome into episode 306 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey. Here on this Monday, September the 8th. Hope everybody is had a great weekend. Hope you're having a good start to a new work week. AJ McCarron will join us in just a bit. Very shortly, in fact. He'll join us. We'll talk about the weekend that was in college football and week 1 of the National Football League. We'll talk about some other things, some other topics as well. Have a life advice question. I just remembered. Tyler's not even aware of it, but I've got it right here.
Going on the fly.
So we'll do all of those things here on a show that's brought to you each and every show by Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, I am rocking with the rainbow sherbet today. I need a little rain, a little BCAAs and electrolytes and zero sugar to get my day going today. So I'm going with a little rainbow sherbet. Rainbow sherbet rain today. But Neal and AJ, welcome. The Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping and through the end of the month. You can save up to $14,500 off the brand new Chevy Silverado pickup when you take advantage of trade and down payment assistance. That's over 19% below MSRP. Just announced at Cooper Hyundai, they have the Honda Santa Fe SUV and the Santa Fe Hybrid at 0% APR, no payments for 90 days, and 0 APR for 60 months. So check them out at CooperHyundai.com or give them a call at area code 256-236-4481. Neal, we're also brought to you by our good friends at County Line Campers. They're the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey. Just face it, friends, Alabama fans may have a little bit more hope. I don't know how AJ feels about it, but Alabama fans may have just a little bit more hope. Your Saturday's just got a whole lot freer. Why? Because your team, if you're a Florida fan, listen up, your team has decided to take the season off. Yep. No nail biters, no heartbreak and overtime. Just 3 hours of your life you'll never have to waste yelling at the TV again. So what are you going to do about it? You are going – stop. You're making me laugh already. What are you going to do about it? With all that free time, I'll tell you what, you're going to pick up a camper at County Line Campers and hit the road. That's right. Spend that 3 hours with your family. Ignore the social media and go check out County Line Campers. If you're on social media, check out County Line Campers. They're open 7 days a week just off I-10, exit 38 in Gulfport, Mississippi, which I will be live next Monday.
Oh, yeah?
From County Line Campers doing the show next week.
How about that?
I got to see if my golfing buddy over there wants to go chase the white ball next Monday morning. He hasn't told me yet. All right. All right. Also,
good to go.
The nod of affirmation.
Oh, all you got to say is, AJ, do you want to play golf? You don't even have to say, do you want to play golf? Do you want to play? Yes. If you did,
I got to move our podcast from Monday to Tuesday. So
don't tell nobody that. Don't tell them why. We're also brought to you by Prime. That's right. Get Prime. That's GetPrym.com. They are a modern at-home lab testing that puts you in control of your health. That's right. No result, no needles, no waiting rooms, no hassle. Whether you're rechecking your hormones, your energy levels or metabolism, or overall wellness, Prime makes it fast, easy, and actionable. If you need support, Prime connects you with trusted doctors who can help you guide the next steps, like peptides, protocols, and real strategies to help you feel your best. So go to Get Prime, that's GetPrym, enter the promo code of MPW at checkout, and you can get 20% off. That's right, 20% off of your first order. That's right, Get Prime, GetPrym.com. How about that?
How about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'd like to welcome to Mac 10 Monday, the 3-time national champ, the 3-time world champion, and the co-host of The Dynasty, with his co-host of Chris Stewart and Trent Richardson, that you can check out on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, AJ McCarron. How you doing, sir?
What up?
I did that one pretty good. You got to give me some props. That was quick.
That was fire. Yeah.
That was fire.
That was a good
Pretty
job.
good, this intro stuff. It's where it's at. All right, we're going to hop right into this thing since we don't have you long today. We're going to hop right into this thing and get right to the game review of the game week. So, AJ, on your picks this week, you went 6-5. You were plus 2 units because you hit your money line, which we'll talk about the games in just a second. Neal went 5-6, even money, did not lose any ground. I went 6-5, same record as AJ, but I did not hit my money line, so I'm only up 1 unit for the week. So overall, going into week 3, AJ, you're still last, but barely. You're 8-9, even money. 8-9, even money. Haven't lost, haven't won anything. Neal is 8-9, but he is plus 0.5 units because he's hit both of his money lines. And I am 10-7, up 3.1 units. I hit 1 money line. Did not hit mine this week. All right, we're going to start it off. We're going to go over we'll start with the Ole Miss Kentucky game. Out the gate, Ole Miss wins 30-23 in Lexington, Kentucky, a game that which our friend Neal McCready, the guy that we know and love, who sits here and is always on the left of your screen, number one in your hearts, left on the screen, covered and got to go spend his wonderful weekend, or a good part of it, in Lexington, Kentucky. I'll give my thoughts quickly and then shift to you guys. I thought it was I thought Ole Miss played offensively, did not have their best game, best performance, and it obviously starts with Austin Simmons. Thought he sprayed it a little bit, was not accurate at all, even on one of his big explosive plays on a post. He underthrew it. Should have been a walk-in touchdown. It was a great route by the receiver. They got guys that can run. One of the picks over the middle sailed it. He was selling balls, just didn't have his A game. At the bottom line, he did not have his A game. He sprayed it a little bit with the ball, cost him a pick, and then felt rushed was probably the best word I could describe it. Felt sped up, felt rushed. I think it hurt his mechanics a little bit. And then the other pick was a bad snap. He picked it up. I couldn't tell if it was they were running smash or they were running some kind of flood concept, AJ, with a sail. There was not enough separation between the flat and the number 2 vertically. And he got, the corner fell off and made the pick on the boundary. So I couldn't tell what it was because I was watching the game. I was watching the game while I was doing the show. But it was one of those two things. But regardless, it wasn't enough separation, whether it was cell or a corner. They got a running game was good. Thought 5 was really good for Ole Miss. I thought that defensively, I don't think Ole Miss is as nearly. I don't think this is even a hot take. They're nowhere near as talented as they were last year, but they play hard. You know what I mean? They make up for a lot of lack of talent. Not lack of talent, not as much talent, but they play extremely hard and they play fast. But I will say this. This is a weird week they got playing Arkansas this week. I don't think that they can play the same game that they played and expect to get out. I think they have to clean up, particularly on offense, and execute better against Arkansas this week.
Yeah, I was disappointed in Austin just being so inaccurate. I thought he would be a lot more accurate with the football. The kid can absolutely spin it. There's not a throw he can't make. One thing that worries me about his throwing mechanics, he has a long release, dude. It is a long. It's not as bad as like a Tebow, but he gets way. It's baseball. It's a pitching throwing mechanic where he gets true opposite and equal separation. But with the football, he's just so much where it's hard. You look at all the great quarterbacks in the NFL, the last 50 years, like a lot of them are quick and everything's to this point. And you got some that are able, but this part for a quarterback has to be extremely fast, right?
He's got the
because there are guys.
He's got the typical lefty stuff, but he's got to speed it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, got to speed it up because I think he threw some balls that were late, and I think part of that is because of his motion, and then I think it causes him to be inaccurate, if that makes sense, because of a mechanic issue rather than it's not like he's not playing on time. I think he sees it. I think it's just the throwing mechanics itself delays him on when he wants to get the ball out and when he expects to get the ball out, but it's so long that I think it causes him to rush and then he's inaccurate with the football. I mean, the pick over the middle was that throwing it high. I believe he had a pick over the middle. I can't remember, but even the one on the smash was. I mean, he never saw the corner. If he throws it up, like towards the front corner of the end zone, which that's where that aiming point should be for that corner route or sell or whatever. At that point, like if he throws it up the field, it's completed. But he throws him towards the sideline.
Well, that's why I couldn't tell if it was a sell or a corner. If it was a corner, it was a bad one. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, you know, but that was, I guess my point was I couldn't tell because I haven't watched the L-22. So I couldn't tell if it was a sell route or if it was a corner. But regardless, if it's on the receiver and the receiver's too flat, you just got to burn that one. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah.
He's trying to make every play. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's trying to make every play, make every throw, even when they're not right.
Right.
And again, that one could be on him or the receiver. I just don't know because I don't know what the play call was.
Yeah. I tell you, I thought Ole Miss's defense would get after Kentucky. I mean, Calzada, he struggles to throw the ball, dude.
I mean, I don't even know what all the things you guys talk about. I'm not even going to pretend to weigh in, but he's not a good SEC quarterback. That's the worst team in the SEC. Remember, I told you after one week. That's the SEC.
No, I mean they're bad. And I mean they had some dudes open too. I mean he just can't hit them. But that's the only concern for me. I think Ole Miss has enough playmakers on offense to give people trouble, but their defense, I thought, struggled just to tackle. And the biggest jump you see, everybody in the game talks about it all the time. The biggest jump you see between teams is between week 1 and week 2, and I don't know if I saw a big enough jump to come out and be like, damn, I can see them upsetting some people and causing some havoc in the SEC. Kind of scared me away from them a little bit. And hell, I like rooting for Ole Miss and Lane.
Neal, what were your takeaways? I mean, from being there.
I mean, not a lot.
Anything that surprised you? Or
no, I mean, Lacey's really good. I think they have a running game this year. Ole Miss does that they didn't have last season. I think Lane trusts Lacey between the tackles in a way that he didn't trust his other backs a year ago. I think they're better up front than they're getting credit for on offense. I think people are losing their minds over a bust here and there, and Simmons is getting hit some, but quarterbacks get hit. Defensively, I think it's clear they're not as deep as they were a season ago. That's obvious to me. They don't have I wonder if they're a linebacker short for long games. I'm not crazy about some of their safety play. Just watching it, I think their corners have played pretty well. Antonio Kite, the Auburn transfer, played really well the other day, I thought, from what I watched. So look, Austin's a young quarterback. I mean, I thought just from a couple of perspectives, down 10-0, even though there was never a moment in that game that I was watching it and I thought Kentucky might win. Never.
Right.
But even at 10-0, you're like, well, you got to do something here eventually. And they did. They made a big play and scored. And then at 20-20, Kentucky feels like, hey, maybe we have some life here. And they drove down and scored. I thought that was big. I don't get to watch as much as you guys get to watch, obviously, because I'm at one game. But I'm not sure the league, and maybe this is college football in general. I mean, the portal was always going to dilute talent. I think you're about to start seeing a lot of parity. I don't think there's a massive difference between, say, the third best team in the SEC and the 12th or 13th best team in the SEC. There's a difference, but it's not what it was years ago.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about it now because
I mean, just from a depth standpoint, you know, I mean that's the biggest key to it. Who's number 6 for Ole Miss's defense?
TJ Daugherty.
Ooh.
He's very good.
He was slide. I mean, he might be a great.
This is why I don't like doing. I like to sit back and let y'all talk because I don't know what the hell I'm watching. I don't.
I just thought I kept seeing 6, and maybe the chat, maybe I was seeing it wrong, but it seemed like 6. He was flying all over the place, but he spent more time on the ground and sliding and like falling down and missing tackles that way. I'm like, damn, he's around it, but it just seemed like he never made any true tackles. I mean, hell, maybe I saw it wrong.
3's the one, the safety for me. 3's the one that left some plays out there to be desired. But you know, regardless, I do think they're playing hard. I don't think it's an effort thing. I think Pete is getting as much out of this group as he can get out of them. So I think he's doing a hell of a job. I'll make sure that's very clear.
Sure.
I think he's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, maybe it was 3. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't know. I think that
6 was a linebacker. 3 is Sage Ryan, the former.
Is 3 a light skinned dude?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm so bad with names anyway, and when they change teams every year, it takes me half a year to figure out who's who. But I think from a when you look at it for this week, you know, Arkansas is going to be the best offense they've played all year, so you're probably going to get some more answers. I think Arkansas has the ability to be explosive at times, but they haven't played anyone either, right? So we'll get some questions answered this week with them from a defensive standpoint, not necessarily offensive standpoint. I think the defenses. I think there's going to be some, you know, I don't want to call Arkansas bend don't break defense. They don't give up a lot of yards and a lot of, like, if you look statistically, they don't give up a lot of yards and a lot of points, but they are leaky a little bit. You know what I mean? They're not as good as, I don't think they're as good as Kentucky up front, but overall schematic wise, I think they're probably the same, or I don't think there's like a drastic difference between the two. But kind of, I want to go ahead and get here while we got AJ on the horn. After 2 weeks, I don't know if I think every single team in the SEC has issues somewhere. I think we're fixing to go through, you know, kind of expounding on what you said. I think we're fixing to go through a year to where, like, if you look, I saw the stat today. I know it does take out the South Florida thing, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I guess the SEC versus Power 4 opponents, non-conference, SEC is like 8-2, you know, with their losses obviously to Ohio State and whoever the other one was, Alabama to Florida State, and other conferences are much worse. But I don't feel like there is a truly like, hey, this team right here, this team, we'll see you in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has holes. I think LSU's improved greatly on defense, but offensively, we'll talk about it. They got a little bit left to desire. Obviously, Alabama, you know, Auburn's got their things. Oklahoma's got the schedule. Florida's got their issues. Ole Miss has got their issues. State. I mean, it's like everybody, top to bottom, from one to, I would probably say, I'm probably with Neal. I'm probably going to say 12, hell, maybe even 13 teams are going to beat people that, quote unquote, there's going to be upsets. You know what I mean? Because there's such a fine line. And I think somebody said it earlier on the live, Neal, and I think they're right. I think you may look up in Atlanta and see the two teams that end up in Atlanta are the two teams that did the best with the injury bug by the end of the year. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's that close.
Mm-hmm.
It's that close. You know, Ole Miss, you know, Austin Simmons performs a Lazarus act. I thought he needed his leg amputated when he came off the field. I was like, oh, that wasn't good. He wasn't putting pressure on. I was like, this guy's got a high ankle. He's fixing to miss 5 or 6 weeks. And then he's walking around, you know, 13 seconds later. I'm like, oh, that blew my mind. But, you know, if he goes down, you know, that limits Ole Miss. You know what I mean? And so you can say the same thing about every damn team in the league. You know, so it's just, I think that's who's going to end up in Atlanta. All right, well, speaking of Alabama, let's talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Since you're home here, AJ, Alabama dismantles Neal's Warhawks 73-0.
Before we do this, This is important.
Okay.
This is important because I went to ULM, and it's home. I have a lot of fond memories of ULM. So it's a good time to say that this show is brought to you by BetterHelp. We turn this to funny places for support, but not everyone's a therapist. Not everyone is the one. Find your right match with BetterHelp. We've all done it before. Turning to our barista, maybe our football coach, or some random stranger in the bathroom for life advice. As fun as they are to talk to about everyday topics, when you're looking for help about relationships, anxiety, depression, or other clinical issues, they might have all the right answers. Instead, get guidance from a credentialed therapist online with BetterHelp. It's a big difference between chatting with your pals and talking with a therapist. Therapists are clinically trained and credentialed. BetterHelp has been helping people find their match for more than 10 years and has a 4.9 rating out of 1.7 million client session reviews. BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. A short questionnaire helps identify your needs and preferences, and their 10-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means they typically get it right the first time. BetterHelp is completely online, and you can pause your subscription whenever you need to. Switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. With more than 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served more than 5 million people globally. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with the therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. BetterHelp provides access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. So find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/MPW. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MPW. So, I mean, I hope the 72-point win over us. 73. I hope that erases what happened against Florida State. Hope it does. Hope it did it for you, Kalen. Thanks, buddy.
I'm going to let you tee up on this one, AJ. Like, I'm going to say the same thing. It blows my mind. It happened on the live today. Not everybody. I want to say this. This is not everybody, but it's definitely some, and you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, they're back. Guys, I am not passing judgment. I want to see what happens when Alabama goes and plays somebody very physical, a.k.a. Georgia.
Yeah, like Vanderbilt. I want to see what happens when they play Vanderbilt. Where's my camera? Right there. Vanderbilt. Or Auburn. Yeah, Alabama. Or Tennessee. Or LSU. Yeah. I want to see what happens then, Kalen.
But I want to see what happens when they go play somebody that can physically match them and hits them in the mouth.
Or bring your asses to Monroe for a water skiing tournament. Let's see that happen. Bring your asses to Monroe, drop a ski, and let's slalom a bit and see who's talking trash then. We'll run you off the river is what we'll do.
I can't do the 73-0 against Monroe and get fired up. AJ?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Listen, I talked about it. The biggest thing with this team, and we've said it 100 times, so we've been blue in the face. It's not a lack of talent. It's a mentality and effort issue. Great. You did against ULM, and you went out and did what you were supposed to do. Let's take that week to week. And that's the biggest thing. I got to see this team do it week in and week out, against Wisconsin next week, and then you'll get a bye, and then, the real test is up in Athens. I just got to see more. I mean, you did what you were supposed to do. Golf clap for it. Proud of the guys. I thought they played much harder.
Yeah.
But it's the issue of you even had to be there. Like, Saban, hell, you've heard this, Siskey from Saban, a ton. Where he was best at was you don't have to go through a negative to end up being better in the end, right? You don't have to take a loss to learn something. Like, he was best at, we spent more time learning and figuring out our issues when we won, right? Like, that's when he got on to us, and that's when we were having, serious talks as a team. Everybody waits, for a negative to happen, and then, what do we have to fix, rather than just because you win, there's still negatives in there. You just got to find them. So
it's the complete opposite of what people. I'm sure you've gotten asked 1,000 times, like I have. How's coach after a loss or this or that? I'm like,
right,
the worst week in the building, the worst week was when you had to go play Tennessee, Chattanooga, or Mercer or somewhere like that. You would have thought we were playing the goddamn Patriots on Sunday Night Football.
right.
I mean, when you like, I remember when I think the first game I lost there is when we lost to. What was the first game I lost there? I don't remember. I remember we played Ole Miss, the goalpost game here. I remember coach coming into a staff meeting and going, "Hey, we got to have a plan." He goes, "We're going this." You know, it was the first time I ever heard him do this. We're going. It's almost like he knew it was coming. He's like, "We got to have a plan to handle success, and we got to have a plan if we don't win this game." I was shocked, you know, and if we won a game, it was very difficult. If we lost a game, it was like losing a game the next week was the easiest week of the whole year. It was totally opposite of what you would think. And, you know, there's something to that. And like I said, we didn't have player-only meetings after we lost the game. We had player-only meetings when we beat Colorado State 21-10. We had a player-only meeting.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have player-only meetings, you know, when we lost the game.
Well, the frustrating thing is when you see, like AJ says, the effort was better. It's kind of inexcusable, right? That the effort, if the effort's better, that means
it's non-negotiable.
That means that it wasn't good the first time. Why would your effort not have been good for a season opening game at Florida State?
It's a non-negotiable.
And then you come back with, I mean, I make the joke about running up the score, but the truth is, you don't prove anything by beating ULM.
No,
you don't prove anything by running up the score on ULM. And I didn't see the games. I don't know whether they were trying not to score or not. But you're not. Hey, we got to 70. Doesn't change a damn thing.
No. And also, I'd like to point out to all the haters, AJ, that do you know who the second quarterback that went in the game was, AJ?
Yep, Austin Mack.
Oh, man.
Hey, speaking of that,
you like how I threw you that hanging curve right there?
I have a serious issue with that.
Mm.
And me and Chris Stewart were texting about it, and during the game, and he kind of made a statement of, and I got to make sure he knows, like, I'm not pissed at him, but he made a statement of, you know, well, they told the team that they were going to happen, that they were going to put Austin Mack in there. And I replied with, I don't give a shit what they told him. My issue with it is, and anybody that's been a part of a team or a locker room, why is Austin Mack? Why are you throwing him in there at that point? If you name Ty the starter, then and you know he's got to keep building his confidence and get games under his belt. Why are you putting Austin Mack in there in the middle of the second quarter and taking Ty out of missing a drive? I don't understand that. I don't understand that from a coaching perspective. Like, the game was going to be out of hand at halftime. Let Austin Mack play the whole third quarter into the fourth, and then let Keelan, get his reps at the end. What's the point? Because I'll tell you, the issue you create as a coach, right? And people don't think about this. And if you haven't been a part of a locker room, when you do shit like this, you create a divide in the locker room. And that's the issue, because say for whatever reason, and Ty played, perfect.
17,
but say Ty struggles at all, and you send this kid in out of nowhere, right? Even though you told the team, but a lot of the fans didn't know until they announced it. But why? Well, I don't understand that. It's really mind-boggling to me. It's one of the things that I haven't questioned this coaching staff. I've been pretty respectable when it comes to this, and respecting them as coaches and everything. But that's a head scratcher for me. I don't understand it. I think we're overthinking it. If he's not your starter, then don't name him the starter, and just say, hey, it's an open competition through the Wisconsin game, and we'll figure out who's our starter going into Athens. I have a real issue with this. I don't see the positives in it.
The only thing I can think of is I'm no excuse for doing that, but I'm just saying the only thought process that I could possibly imagine was, they got Wisconsin, they got Georgia. If they get, the only reason is they wanted to get both of those guys some reps in case something happened down the road, because I don't know if there's going to be many opportunities to get them reps, but that doesn't. I'm not
Right, but what was the
I'm
second half?
disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm just saying from a coaching standpoint, that's the only thing I could think that went through their mind was, hey, let's try to, while we got some good players in the game, let's try to get, because you may not have another opportunity until it gets real. You know what I mean? Like,
And I completely understand that, but it's kind of like the scenario I was thrown in multiple times, where Saban would throw me in, he would take Greg out, but it would be on like a 2-minute drive in a game that we're already blowing somebody out in the first half, right? Like against Duke, he threw me in there. I believe, huh?
And you were always a rhythm guy,
right? And so he would throw me in there for a 2-minute drive. Just to see, like, if we have to go to him, I want to see how he's going to react and how he's going to handle a pressured situation. But the game was, you could tell the game was going to be well out of hand, going into halftime. If you're going to play this kid, play him in the second half. There's just so much negative that comes from this, to where you can literally divide a locker room, because you could have a certain group of guys that now want Austin Mack to be your starter, and then you can have a certain group that want Ty to be your starter. Yeah. You name Ty as the starter. I put that on the coaching staff. If you didn't want him to be your starter or whatever, then don't name the son of a bitch a starter.
No, I mean, it's a valid point. I mean, there's nothing much else to say on that one. I mean, it looks worse too, because you got your teeth kicking week one. I don't think it would be that big of a deal if you went out and took care of business week one.
Right.
But with all of the, what's the right word? Neal, you talk about this all the time. You open yourself up for, in the absence of information, you open yourself up for a controversy that doesn't really exist.
In the absence of news, you open yourself up for rumors.
You open yourself up for a quarterback controversy that's unnecessary.
Right. I have an issue with it, man. I just don't understand it. I think it's coaches, which, coaches overthinking things way too much, and not putting themselves back in the shoes of the players. And if they were once in a locker room, like, I really don't understand it.
Yeah. All right. Mississippi State with a big dub. Mississippi State beats Arizona State 24-20 in one of the best games to watch. Mississippi State jumps out early on them. Arizona State comes back, takes the lead. And then Mississippi State drives in the field, hits the big pass for, I think it was 50-something yards on a vertical switch route and call them napping and with no safety help. Just really, really well-designed play. Look, I'm going to say this about Mississippi State. I've said it. I'm going to continue to say it. Neal laughed at me a few weeks ago when I said that they could beat Arizona State and start out 2-0.
No, I didn't.
I'm just teasing.
Okay. Actually, had my money line pick.
Your money line pick. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah.
But people did think I was crazy when I said that. I've been saying that all summer. Look, I think this Mississippi State team is last year's Vanderbilt. I think they're going to win. Not saying they're going to win the damn league. I am saying they can be explosive on offense. I think offensively, it's eerily similar when Levy first got here with a young Matt Corral, right? Like they're gonna make mistakes, but they can score points and they can be explosive. Defensively, they're okay talent-wise, but they got those kids playing hard. They're outmatched some in some spots, but they play so damn hard. And so I say all that to say this: hats off to Levy and his staff for getting them, because, like, dude, you're coming off a 2-10 year. They had not beaten a Power 5 opponent. I forgot what the stat was, or Power 4, whatever we'll call them now. It'd been a while.
Yeah,
it'd been a while.
Yep.
And so they took advantage of the environment. They're playing hard. Hats off to them. I'm a big Levy fan. I love Levy. I think he's a good dude and a hell of a coach. And then got my guy McIntyre's there now too. So there are a lot of people there that I like. Lee Wilbanks, a lot of dudes that I've worked with in the past are there. They're playing their guts out. And I'll say this: a lot of things that will get slept on this game. At the end of the game, they had the ball basically first and goal at the 1 or 2 or whatever it was, and they found a way to stop them 3 straight downs from the 1 or 2 when they had and Arizona State had all the momentum, was running the ball at will in the second half, because they kind of shut down the kid. The receiver they kind of neutralized him. He kind of got dinged up, and they ran the ball like 32 times or something in the second half. They couldn't slow them down. And then when they had to have it on the goal line, they kept them out of the end zone. They had to burn all their timeouts, forced them to a field goal, and that's how they were able to drive down and score. They had no timeouts, but that could have gone totally different, right, if they had let them score early. But they found a way to make plays, and you got to give a hats off to them. They found a way to make plays in the big game at the big time. So there was a hell of a job by Levy and the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
His defense saved him too, because Levy would have been kicking his own ass. I didn't understand going for it on 4th and 6 or long 6 on your side of the field. That was.
For you.
I thought
that's what happens when an offensive coordinator is a head coach. Punting is for
I understand. I just in that situation.
I know
that's a long 4th down on your side of the field. I would have just punt, pin them back, and then make them do a drive. But hell, his defense and his team, rallied behind him on that. I thought was a bonehead call, but hell, that's part of coaching. You make it. You're glorified. If you're not, you're crucified. So, it's
aggression between an offensive head coach and a defensive head coach for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Defensive head coach.
I tell you what, I love. Playing this, knocking anybody else, but I said it. On CBS, they asked me about the game. I think I was the only one that picked State, but it's one of the coolest atmospheres to play in college football. I know people don't like the cowbells and shit, but
give me a headache.
It's loud. They get into it. It's a fun place to play, and those dudes have always played hard. Hell, I don't know how the hell you recruit to Starkville, but power to Levy for doing it.
All right, last one that we're going to bounce around pretty quick after this. Oklahoma and Michigan. Oklahoma wins 24-13. This game kind of played out like I thought it was going to play out. Michigan had the one explosive run to start the very first play of the second half, and the safety misfit the gap on the backside. He overran it, and they got out the back door for like 75 yards. But look, Oklahoma, literally, we talked about, I was funny because on TikTok, AJ, we had a clip about Bryce Underwood from a few weeks ago. The good clip. Remember that one?
Yeah.
But it literally played out exactly how we talked about. Like when you take
he's good.
Yeah,
good.
finally
Good.
He is good. He's talented.
And then me and Neal.
He's talented. But he look, when you take a freshman, we have gotten this deal, and y'all know exactly where I'm going with this. We have pumped these, and I'm going to say we, even though it's not me, I'm going to say we as a society have pumped these young quarterbacks up so much because of the recruiting rankings or how much they're getting paid out of high school. It takes time, okay? And when you go on the road for the first time and you go on the road in a hostile environment against a great coach or whatever, you're not going to go out there and throw for 500 yards. And so you saw, like, we can say what we want to, but like Austin Simmons, as good as he looked 2 weeks ago, was, when he struggled a little bit on the road the first time. And so it takes time for these young quarterbacks. And you start looking across the league, we got Lenore Sellers, who's supposed to be Heisman Trophy guy. You got DJ Lagway. Both of them stunk it up this week. Pete Sanchez down there in Texas is doing his thing. Like he's a young quarterback, right? And so these guys are talented, but they're going to make mistakes, and you got to allow them to grow up. But you could tell the difference between an experienced quarterback in that game and a guy that was just fresh off the boat. You could tell two different deals because he was panicking. He was reading two sides. He was doing this, and in quick game, he was looking all over the place. He got confused on blitzes. He was forcing balls, and they don't have great talent on the outside for him to really throw to. Yeah. And Mateer was a guy that was experienced. And but you're talking about somebody that is loosey-goosey sometimes. He throws some balls that you're like, eh. But he's a talented kid, and you got to take the good with the bad. He's going to make explosive plays and do something bonehead, but he is Oklahoma's good. They're good. They're a good football team, and they got a defense that now probably the difference in Oklahoma is one of the very few teams that runs that kind of offense that kind of has a defense to go with it. Most teams are very porous on defense when you're running that type. And I think obviously Venables being the head coach and calling the defense has something to do with that. But look, their schedule sucks. They're going to have some L's coming because just schedule L's. But they're going to drop games here and there. But they are a good football team. And anytime that I'm a big Mateer fan, I've been that. Y'all know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. I think he gives them a chance to really be really good down the road.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the young kid from Michigan was. I thought you saw him being young. I thought he played young in certain parts of that game. Accuracy downfield, I thought was an issue. Oklahoma's defense confused the shit out of him. I mean, you could see it when you watch enough of the quarterback position, or if you've played it, and even in quick game, he was dropping back, and first thing his eyes went straight down to the D line and O line just to kind of see, because he was already trying to move early. I like Oklahoma. This Oklahoma team, I think they're explosive. I think they're going to call some fits for a lot of people. I think they have a chance if they can keep playing at a high level. They might be one of those teams that finds their way into the Atlanta.
They're a team for me. Like when you really watch the running game, they're going to have to find a running game that doesn't include Mateer. Like quarterback run stuff, they're really good at, and it gives them an extra number. But he can't. You can't.
He can't take those hits all year.
Yeah, and that's how he plays now. You know what I mean? Like that's
how
he plays.
But it ain't gonna happen.
He's kind of like he's Jackson Dart without the size of Jackson Dart. You know what I mean? Like when you run the ball when Jackson Dart, if you give him the option to, he's going to run it, but he's not going to slide, right? But he's a smaller version of that. And when they're doing all this quarterback run stuff, brother, if he's got a chance, he's going to keep it, and he's going to take a lot of hits. And so, and if it goes south with him. Now, their backup kid's pretty good. Now, I can't remember the kid's name, but he played a little bit last year. He's the one that ended up starting over Arnold towards half the year. But it's a drop-off, right? And so they got to be careful with that, and they got to be able to find a running game that's not quarterback run, I think, to make the big jump. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and call it now. I think OU beats Texas.
I like that.
Does OU beat Auburn?
That's so weird, man.
Where's that game at?
It's in Norman. I probably would pick Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'd pick Oklahoma just because it's being at home.
This whole storyline, Jackson Arnold's going to – I mean, I can't even imagine him going back.
That place is going to be rocking.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's a whole different story.
But I just wanted to call that upset. I think OU beats Texas.
All right, nothing to see here. Auburn 42, Ball State 3. Neal did not cover on that. Look, Auburn's solid. I mean, it's fine. They just didn't cover, but they did what they wanted to in that game. All right, the game I want to talk about, but Vanderbilt beats Virginia Tech on the road 44-20. Vandy scored, I want to say, their last 6 possessions of the game. Neal had that in his picks. That was a dub for and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to give you all a little preview for Thursday. Vanderbilt's beating South Carolina this week. You want to call something? Vanderbilt's going to beat South Carolina.
I think I agree.
I
like it. I'm going
to call that one. I'm going to do a little preview for Thursday on that one.
You want to talk about a team that plays hard for their coach?
And their quarterbacks.
They play fucking hard.
And I will say this. South Carolina, this is just as much Vandy as it is South Carolina. Offensively, and I'll say it, and everybody's going to get mad at me. Lenore Sellers is a great player, okay? He's very explosive with his feet.
Yeah.
He's not a great passer, and not only is he not a great passer, he doesn't have a lot of weapons to throw to. Everybody jumps on the Nick Harbor thing because he is a Greek god physically. He's big, he's fast, but he's not he doesn't have great ball skills, and he's not a great route runner.
Can't water ski either.
Probably can't. I just don't think they're not very good up front. Defensively, they play very good. They play hard, but I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe they beat Vandy by 60 points, but I think Vandy goes into Columbia and wins.
We talked about this briefly during the preseason. If you talk to people around that Vanderbilt program, people who have covered a lot of bad football, people who've been around a lot of bad football, they started saying some things about, you know what, this defense might be okay. This might be a decent defensive team. And you know what you get with Pavia? You get this guy that's going to play his ass off, right?
Right.
But there's a little more to them than just Diego Pavia.
Oh, I agree.
I said this morning. I mean, I think we'll probably return to this point in time at some point, but I think it's time, at least for this year, to put the how cute is Vanderbilt narrative. We need to put that away. They might be a little more than cute.
They play for, and look, and AJ was talking about how they played hard for Cart Lee, but I think that's also Diego Pavia kind of is the right leader at quarterback for that mentality too, right?
Yeah,
so,
sure. Yep.
And he's not, and look, he didn't win the Heisman Trophy or anything, but the way he plays, like they ran speed option against, they run speed option. He pitches it early and goes and try, and like, first of all, if I was coaching this kid, I'd be like, hey dude, we ain't doing that shit. But he quick pitches on speed option and then sprints ahead and goes balls to the wall against a linebacker in space to throw a lead block.
I think it's just the only way he knows how to play.
But that's what I'm saying.
Crazy,
like,
but yeah.
It's like, look, when AJ played for me, did AJ probably do some stuff I probably wouldn't advise him to do? Yes, but that's his personality. And so you have to, sometimes you got to take the good with the bad sometimes. And if I shut him down for the way he is, like, did I like AJ going ape shit, running down the sideline, running down the field, going crazy when he threw a touchdown? No, I'm like, he's probably heard me say this. I would say, hey, let's act like we've done that before. But if I took that away from him, it wouldn't. AJ's not a guy you can make a robot. I think it's the same thing with this kid. You got to let him. You got to let the dogs eat. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
100%.
Two more games in college, and I want to make sure because I know one's going to take a minute, and then before we get you off here, Kansas, Missouri. Missouri. First of all, that was my money line. I told everybody on the show I actually took the spread, which I'm very upset about because Kansas was going to cover, and then my guy breaks like a 75-yard run when they're trying to run 4-minute drill. So thanks for the long run. I think Kansas kind of took advantage of a turnover early. They got a scoop and score, got a defensive touchdown early that kind of helped that. I thought Missouri's really good on defense. Shout out to Corey Batoon. Missouri has a really good defensive team. I've said this before. Bo Pribula, I would say wrong, but he is. I never really criticized him, but I do think he's better than what I gave him credit for at the beginning of the year. He has really improved. And he's not that he's improved. Hell, we never saw it. I think he's a good player. I think he's an above average passer that has good feet. Probably a little bit looking to get out quick, but look, I think Missouri's got advantage of a schedule. We'll see. I'm kind of curious with this one. I'm kind of curious to see where they go with that schedule they have. They got some games at home. They got to play some games, but can they get to 10? I definitely think they're a team that has to get to 10 with the schedule. I don't think they can. I don't think 9 gets them in, but they're an interesting bunch to see on that. What did you think about that game, AJ?
Yeah, I think Missouri, like you said, on defense plays hard, and they're good. That's one of the games from an Alabama perspective that playing there can be tough as well.
I think that will be an interesting game for Alabama on the road. That's an interesting trip. It's I've been there.
It's right after a tough game probably with Vandy because Vandy's gonna just play balls to the wall like hard. And you're playing Missouri a week before you play Tennessee.
Yep.
So it's like
nice spot. Yeah, nice spot.
It's a trap.
All right, last game. Then we're gonna let you go because I know we're gonna talk about this for a minute. The Florida Gators. Florida Gators hosted South Florida. South Florida wins 18-16. This was a very interesting game. I don't think South Florida played as good as they could have played. I don't think. Well, that's what's a lot of people want. Everybody that sees this score didn't watch the game goes, "Oh, South Florida played great. Florida played bad." I don't necessarily see it that way. I think South Florida left a lot of things on the table, and I think they would. I'm sure they're probably telling their guys, "Hey, we could be really good here," because I don't think they played their best game. Florida, it's really simple for me. One, besides the penalties that, in particular the last one, they got the spitting on the player. I don't understand that. They had over 100 yards in penalties. They had scores called back. The biggest thing for me in this game besides the fact that they didn't play great, is in the red zone. They're kicking field goals. I mean, they scored. They got the ball 3 times in the first half, and they had these long ass drives, and they're kicking field goals. Well, in today's football, you can't do that, particularly against a team that's known to can be explosive on offense. Now, I don't put this on the defense. I mean, dude, if you're holding somebody in today's football, if you're holding somebody at 18 points, you got to win the game. I mean, period. If you're holding somebody at 18 points in today's football, you got to win. But penalties and not being good in the red zone is a deal. And then, as we all know, which is going to be, he's about one of 7 coaches in my opinion. But every single time that Billy loses this year, you're going to get this fire Billy stuff.
Yeah,
and it's going to come, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop.
I went to Yelp, top movers in Gainesville. You got UF mover guys in storage, number 1. Later Gator moving, it's number 2. Affordable moving USA gets 4.1 stars. Powerhouse movers gets 5 stars. Only 4 reviews though, not a lot of. Later Gator got Amigos on the move. Ox Strong Moving only gets 1 star. Got 1 review is bad. 2 Men in a Truck, Gainesville, of course. I mean, there's a lot of options. That's the good news. A lot of options.
A lot of options.
A lot of options.
Yeah, the thing with them, that's he's truly a 7-day contract. I mean, that's just, it is what it is. And we knew this going into the season, and it's going to be like that until it either comes to an end or it doesn't.
Well, because here's the thing.
Because he was fired last year too, right?
Listen, it's over.
He was. But AJ and I are going to try to talk you down here because, look.
What have I said that it's defending him?
No, you're not. But he survived it last year.
Yeah, but everybody had him fired last year too.
He's the little kid that couldn't swim. He got saved, and now he immediately goes right back to the dock and jumps in like, okay, well, it'll all work.
Well, he also won 5 games in a row, and then the first one he loses, it's fire him again. It's going to be.
Yeah, it's just who you're losing to.
He lost to USF, and so here's what's coming. Coming.
That's the issue.
At LSU, stop me when y'all go, oh, that's a dub. At Miami, Texas at home, at Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Nobody?
I think
Georgia, the whole schedule.
Georgia and Jacksonville.
That's been the point the whole year.
At Kentucky, dub. At Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. Of the games you could lose on the schedule, the ones that you couldn't lose, the ones that you simply could not lose were Long Island and South Florida. No, those are not options.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to order one of those. It's bad.
Oh, well, and it's the fact that it's in the same state. With it being in the same state, it is just a bad look. And they got so many penalties. It's just so much of the same shit of them being undisciplined. Like, it's just not a good look. And listen, I mean, we all like Billy. Hell, spent a ton of time with him at Alabama, but it's over. I really think it's over.
Here's the thing. It's like another thing besides losing this game, like whoever made this schedule the last 2 years, because it was South Florida this year. Okay.
Yeah.
One we skipped over. Well, last year they had to play Central Florida.
Yeah.
Like that's why you don't play.
I don't know why we keep doing it. Yeah.
That's why. And hey, they won. And I said the same thing last week about Arkansas and Arkansas State. You don't play those games because the only way you win those games is if you blow them out.
Well, you saw some of it in the Louisiana Tech LSU game, right? LSU's kind of flat. Louisiana Tech, they have a lot of Louisiana kids on that team, and those kids playing at LSU was big time opportunity and also a chance to be like, I'll show you.
All right, what if
and you're scheduling it before you play Florida, which LSU's team's probably already looking forward to that, the next week anyways. Like, I don't understand those.
But that's the point. Is let's say for whatever reason, let's say one of those 3 possessions that they kicked a field goal in the red zone, they score a touchdown and they win by 2 points. He still lost the game, and people would still be wanting him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't win those games unless you just beat the shit out of them.
But you're in a lose-lose at all times.
Guess who's playing one this week? I'm just telling y'all.
Who?
Hugh Freeze is playing South Alabama this week.
Oh.
If he doesn't beat the shit out of them, and brother, they don't have any quitting them either, okay? Because they were down 16 to Tulane in the fourth quarter with 2 fourth-down conversions and ended up scoring and going for 2 to try to tie the game. Yep. And if this game's not a blowout, guess what's going to happen? Who called plays on first down this week? You? I mean, that's just the world we live in right now. And
fucking Tulane.
And like,
I know.
Cost us.
I thought that was going to be one of my locks of the week.
I did too.
Yeah.
And sorry ass SMU. Fire all kickers.
Yeah, AJ doesn't bet money on the games either. He was very pissed off about the games he lost. He's too competitive.
I understand.
If AJ ever starts betting money on a game, we may have to go get him.
I'll be on top of Dog River Bridge.
You ain't right.
I won't do it.
All right, but let's have a serious conversation real quick. What if Florida beats LSU this weekend? What's the temperature then? What's the temperature? I'm asking a question.
Cools dramatically. Of course, people would look back and go, but look.
Because let me ask you a question. Do y'all think Florida can beat LSU? Is it possible?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like
but it's not likely.
The question here's my thing is that we're sitting here doing the same thing, and it's with everybody. Hell, it was with Kalen DeBoer last week, and then it's going to be with who's the next one. When Hugh Freeze goes to Oklahoma, if he loses, it'll be back on Hugh. It's always going to be in this league. Where we're at right now, it's on Kentucky this week. Wherever there's about half of the league,
it should be.
Yeah, but there's half the league. Okay, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Let me imitate Kentucky real quick for no reason. Timeout. We got 20 of them. We'll burn them.
You talking about the first half?
Yeah. We can't figure out who's on the field. Timeout.
I don't care about the first half. Long as the second half timeout. Stay and put. But we're in a league right now. Right, wrong, or different. I wrote them down the other day. Half of the league is on a 7-day contract, to where if they lose a game, fans want them fired. And then the other half of the league is on a 14-day contract. Okay? So let me ask you a question. Kirby Smart, is he pretty safe at Georgia?
Yeah.
We all agree there?
Yeah.
What if Kirby loses to Tennessee, then comes in and drops to Alabama at home in back-to-back games?
Still perfectly safe.
But there's going to be noise about, things have changed.
Yeah, but there's a difference between
we got to replace this guy.
There's a difference between noise and reality.
But that's where we're at right now.
Kirby's also got national titles in his back pocket.
Yeah.
That's why he's on a 14-day.
He's on a 5-year.
Brother, it's crazy fans out there. I've seen them.
Yeah, but not real.
I've seen them trying to run off Nick Saban after losing one game.
But not realistically. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
This was a big loss for Billy.
Oh, yeah. Nobody's saying it's not.
I mean,
nobody's saying it's not. It's a huge loss.
This is one that's going to be difficult to overcome because it potentially sets up a run where you just keep losing. And even though you're losing to teams that it's perfectly, quote, excusable, end quote, to lose to, this is the one now that is the poster child for.
Agree. There's no disagreement at all.
Now, if I'm a Florida fan, if I'm one of the people on that staff, I'm really hoping USF goes to Miami and wins on Saturday.
Does Florida have a Gus Malzahn on their staff?
No.
And when I say that,
I know what you're talking about. No. Russ Callaway.
Because I think the reason Gus took that Florida State job was in case shit went bad, he'd be right in the driver's seat to get that job.
Yeah.
If it does it my way, this is how it's going to go. It's going to be the same thing as I did for Auburn type deal.
He was in a win-win situation.
Yeah, because if it does go
it's
because you're better on offense and you're like, see, look. And he kind of fixes his deal in a world where he wants to coach again as a head coach. He'll have options. And in a world where he just goes, you know what, this coordinator thing ain't so bad. They're going to pay me a couple $1 million. I don't have to recruit. I don't have to do media. I'm good.
The real question if Florida drops the next 4 in a row, does he make it the full year?
I will say this. I don't know. I will say this. Will he be probably let go at the end of the year? 100%. But
100%. But I'm saying
and I'm just saying, I don't care who you are. Okay. This isn't a Billy thing. This is coaching in general. This is not a Billy thing. Athletic directors are freaking stupid if they fire guys. Now you can go behind the scenes or whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
But you don't need to fire coaches in today's world and let another team have 6 weeks of tampering. And being able to because the next coach will have no chance. Does that make sense? Like you need to Florida, right, wrong, or indifferent, Florida's got good talent. Okay, you don't. If you're letting him go, you need to make this the most seamless process for the next guy to have a chance. But because you got Lagway, right, wrong, or indifferent, Lagway is going to be a third-year player next year, right? You fire Billy in the middle of the season, you got 6 weeks of tampering. I guarantee you someone's going to come try to pay him. You give him 6 weeks advance notice, somebody is going to. So you gotta be careful on that. All right, before you go, last thing, I know you got to go to practice. All right, the 4 teams, I want to say this real quick from a national standpoint. I think the 4 teams that aren't getting enough attention right now in college football amongst the talking heads, one, the Oregon Ducks, I think they are the real deal.
That was my pick to win the Big Ten.
Real deal Holyfield. They're good. In the same league, Illinois. When you look at Illinois' schedule, they may have a chance to get to 10. Like a realistic chance to get to 10. And they play physical, heads up on them. And the other 2 in the Big 12, which we've talked about, Texas Tech. Texas Tech's got a roster, they're playing well. But the Utah Utes in the Big 12, heads up on the Utah Utes. I think both those, between Utah and Texas Tech, one of those gets in. And I think Oregon's in, but I wouldn't be surprised if Illinois sneaks in schedule-wise in the Big 10. So just keep a heads up so we're not waiting to week 10 to talk about them.
All right.
AJ, I appreciate your time. Make sure you go check out The Dynasty. How about this? The Dynasty podcast on wherever you can find it. AJ they tape on Mondays and they release them on Tuesday mornings. So wherever you get your podcast, check them out with AJ, Chris Stewart, and Trent Richardson, The Dynasty podcast. How about that? All right, brother. I appreciate the hell out of you.
Always. See y'all.
All right. See you. Neal, every time AJ comes on, it's hot. But you know what?
What's that?
It's not as hot as Kia Meridian. At Kia Meridian, you can get 0% APR. That's right, 0% APR on all the brand new vehicles you can get down there. So go check them out at Kia of Meridian. As soon as I get to my reader, I can keep reading. There we go, right there. When you get to Kia Meridian, you can get a Sportage, a K4, a Sorrento, or my favorite, a Telluride. Make sure you go. You can get payments as low as $379 a month. They got over 70 brand new vehicles and all kinds of used that Trav can get you hooked up with. So give him a call. Don't matter where you're located. If you're not in the local area, just still give him a call. He'll get you hooked up at 601-483-6444. And when you call him and you say, Trav, I want that Telluride, Trav. That's a badass ride. Let me have that Telluride. He's going to say, I got you. And then you say, Trav, you know what? Just pull it out and spin the wheel. So you can win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, more. So check them out at Kia of Meridian. Neal, we're also brought to you by, how about this? Can you see my hat I got on right here? My man Don sent me a hat.
I like that.
Thompson's Paint and Body Shop is a real family-owned body shop in the heart of Saraland, Alabama. Not some corporate chain pretending to care. They're located right there at 703 Saraland Boulevard, just a few miles off of I-65 and Exit 13. Thompson's has served customers all over the Gulf Coast, from Biloxi to Pensacola, from Gulf Shores to Demopolis. So it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter if you got a little fender bender, the weather gets you, a deer hits your car. It doesn't matter. They're a family-owned business, and when you call, you're not calling some dinky operator. You're talking to Don Jr. You're talking to the family. You're talking to the people there at Thompson's Body Shop. They will get you taken care of and give your car the TLC that it needs. So give them a call at area code 251-675-0884 or check them out at thompsonsbodyshop.com.
We're also brought to you by myperfectfranchise.net. Listen, if you're looking to get out of corporate America, you're looking for your next business venture, you're interested in learning about buying a business or a franchise, Andy Ludicky can help. Big-time college football fan, franchise veteran, loves to work with people, help them find a franchise or a business that fits their DNA. Great guy. He's a fun guy to sit down and talk to. So you can sit down, talk to him, learn about his process, all of his services, 100% free. It's a no-brainer for those of you looking to get into business ownership. Call Andy. It's 404-973-9901 or Andy at myperfectfranchise.net. Also brought to you by our friends at Parrish Brewing Company, located there in Broussard, Louisiana. Their simple goal is to make awesome craft brewed beer, and I'll just go ahead and tell you they do it. But don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. This weekend coming up, if you're wherever you're tailgating, wherever you're hanging out. Maybe you're just hanging out at home, got the grill lit up, watching some games. Get you some Parish Brewing Company. IPAs, double IPAs, Pilsners, lagers. They've got it. It's all fantastic. You'll love it. Again, Parish Brewing Company. Also brought to you by Bank First. It's the hometown bank with people who understand the needs of our communities. It means local decisions, local support, local folks who care. If your kid made the team at Bank First, they're not just bankers, they're neighbors and friends. Whether you're buying a home, starting a business, or you just need someone to explain what APR actually means, they're here right down the street. Give Gant Boone a call, 662-310-0204 to learn more, or visit bankfirstfs.com. Bank First, with locations in Oxford, Starkville, Hattiesburg, Tuscaloosa, is a member FDIC equal housing lender. Bank NMLS 454063. Got great rates, great terms for condo purchases in all the markets. Great technology with their app, with online banking. They provide merchant services, including Clover point-of-sale systems, checking and money market products that compete with the biggest of banks. Again, bankfirstfs.com. And McCready and Siskey is presented by Outdoor Underwriters. Everybody loves the outdoors. But you want to make sure your hunt club or timberland is covered? Outdoor Underwriters provides the insurance you need at a price that makes sense. Outdoor Underwriters, provides liability protection for occurrences arising out of activities and operations of your hunt club and its members, guests, invitees, agents, or employees. Take comfort in blind and tree stand liability, mobile equipment liability, hunting dog liability, and more. Outdoor Underwriters also provides standing timber insurance, timberland liability, prescribed burn coverage, guides and outfitters and consulting foresters. Its products are endorsed by the National Deer Association, Wild Turkey Federation, Alabama Forest Owners Association, and the Forestry Associations of Florida, Texas, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana. You can access these departments through those association websites, or you can call Outdoor Underwriters at 866-961-4101 or online at outdoorund.com.
All right, going to roll through the NFL before we get to life advice real quick. Want to make sure I had AJ on there and talk about the college game. I know everybody wanted to hear his opinions on those. All right, so just going to go down here a little bit for the people that of all the stuff. You had the Cardinals -6.5. They do cover. They beat the Saints 20-13 yesterday.
Had it the whole way.
The Saints had a couple of balls in the air. Actually dropped one. It got dislodged. Great play by what's my safety's name at Arizona? So damn good. Anyway,
never a doubt.
Look, the Saints are what they're going to be, man. They're just not very good on offense. Defense is solid. I thought they played fine. Just offensively, they're going to struggle all year. The biggest disappointment for me of the weekend, the Miami Dolphins get murked. They didn't get beat.
Yep.
Like, you don't see that in the NFL very often. You know what I mean? They got beat 33-8. Tua just stunk it up, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's bad.
I mean, just however you can stink it up, he did. He had a terrible game. I mean, accuracy, reads, just as bad as you can do as an NFL quarterback. They did it. That was one. I felt really suckered on this one because I didn't play the Illinois-Duke game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's a trap. It's a trap. And, of course, it wasn't a trap. Illinois beat the dog shit out of Duke. And so I talked myself. I thought this was a trap. Oh, no, it wasn't a trap. It was legit. Just very disappointed there. It may be a long year in Miami, dude. It may be a long year.
If that's any indication, it's going to be. Goodness gracious.
Oh, my gosh. Just brutal on many levels.
Meanwhile, great start for the Colts.
Yeah, meanwhile, good start for the Colts. And then a game you hit. The Buffalo Bills.
Never a doubt. Had it the whole way.
Did you? All right, I have an honest question. I bet on the game. It's probably the only reason I still had it on. Did you still have the game on at the end?
No, I'd gone to bed middle of the third quarter. I was exhausted.
I wonder how many people turned this game off. Okay, in the fourth quarter, from the percentages and stuff, Baltimore had a 99.1% chance of winning this game.
It's not 100,
and it wasn't.
A couple of years ago, the Cubs had a 99.something% chance of making the playoffs. Insert narrator. They did not make the playoffs.
I mean, I would like to shout out Derrick Henry, still running like a beast at 31 years old, like he's a rookie. Just what he's done physically with his body is just amazing. No diddy. But the basically the Ravens played as well as they could play, like completely dominated this game, it felt like. I mean, they were just going down the field with ease, man. Just with ease, like no stress. Just no stress. And then it felt like Buffalo was just every play was a stressful play. Buffalo throws on fourth down, a batted, like a tipped, dropped ball gets caught in the end zone for a touchdown. Like everything was going Buffalo's way. And then Derek fumbles, and he's not a fumbler, and he fumbled.
Yep.
They recovered it, got another possession. They go for 2 to tie the game, don't get it, get a stop somehow because, again, Baltimore's trying to run at the clock, not doing what they do on offense, trying to be something different than they've been. They get the ball back and was basically this thing in the NFL, and I get it. Look, I understand it, Neal. It just gives me anxiety because you can't leave any time on the clock. For these guys will score from freaking in 10 seconds, right? Because these field goals, once you get around midfield, you're damn near in range of these kickers. They ran all their timeouts, and they were basically running the quote-unquote red field goal on the field to kick it because the clock's running. But they had 25 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But my man goes to kick it, and he's just chill. I'm going, oh, my gosh. Like he wasn't even alert of the clock. I was like, is this clock going to run down to 0? They get it off, and they make it the last kick, and they beat them 41-40. But look, I thought Baltimore did a great job keeping Josh Allen in the pocket. He did. He's going to get his. He's going to escape, but he didn't really escape laterally and give all the issues he's got on the perimeter. I thought Baltimore did a good job of hemming him up until late. Our Cincinnati Bengals win 17-16.
Had it the whole way.
They looked really good on the first drive, and they just they'll be fine. Defensively, actually, probably looked a little bit better than I thought they were going to look at times.
Good thing, otherwise they would have lost. The second half, offensively, they were anemic.
Yeah, they were. They just couldn't get anything going in the second half offensively, but they'll be fine. They'll figure that part out. The Jacksonville Jaguars smoke the Carolina Panthers, a game that got rain delayed for a little while, but never was in doubt. 26-10. A game that I was kind of you talking about blowing your opportunities. The Patriots lose 20-13 in a game that didn't feel that close. They didn't cover. I lost that game. I hit like the two games I hit that was lucky. The 49ers cover. They beat the Seahawks 17-13. Get a sack cause fumble in the red zone at the end of versus Darnold. Bosa. I couldn't tell if it it looked like he actually dropped it. I don't know how much it got hit, but he fumbled. Bosa recovered. They covered that way. In a game I felt great about. The Chargers beat the Chiefs on Friday night, 27-21 in the Brazil game.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's a division game. We said it, and I picked them on. I picked them on the show the other day. I just think the Chiefs' window's closing, man, and I do
too.
Herbert is, in my opinion, is probably the most underrated good quarterback in the league. Him and Jordan Love are kind of in there for me that people don't give enough credit to. For him to be that productive in that type of offense is pretty impressive. He has a big third down conversion with his legs, like 3rd and 17, 16, or whatever, at the end of the game to kind of seal it. But hey, the Chargers, I think, are going to be. I think they're a playoff team. I don't know if they're Super Bowl ready, but they're going to win a bunch of games. Game of the week yesterday. It really wasn't the game of the week. The Packers beat the Lions 27-13. It
was a beatdown.
Really odd, peculiar game to me. I think the Packers looked really good on offense, executing earlier. Love made some great throws. And then on the other side, like when Micah Parsons is on the field, like he affects the game. Now, he only played 30 snaps.
Yeah.
But Jared Goff was in like check down city, man. I mean, I don't know if it was game plan. I don't know if the Packers took it away from him, but he was in check down city. He did not push the ball. You could tell a difference in them not being aggressive and pushing the ball downfield. They kind of flip roles with Gibbs and Montgomery there. But, from a line standpoint, 13 points ain't going to get it done with that defense they have. They have to be better than that. And then the other game I was going to talk about is the Steelers. The Steelers win 34-32 against the Jets. Aaron Rodgers looked really good for a 42-year-old man out there, and I loved his comments after the game. He said that he just wanted to let him know that he could still play. But I thought ironically, I thought the Steelers looked probably better on offense than they've looked in the last few years, and they look like they've taken a step back on defense. I know they'll pick that up because that's what Tomlin does. But If the Steelers can play that well on offense, I think they're going to make noise in the North as well. And then before we get to life advice, last game tonight, Monday Night Football, the Minnesota Vikings are traveling to the Bears. I've already placed this bet. So if you're listening, get you a free Criteria Club play tonight. I'm taking the Bears money line.
Oh,
I think they win at home tonight. I think your Bears, you're going to jump back on the bandwagon for the Bears. I think, I do. I think they win at home tonight. I think I think Minnesota's not going to be. I'm not all in on JJ McCarthy. Not that I'm in on Caleb Williams, but I think with Ben Johnson there and what they're trying to do and build a culture there, and they've improved on the offensive line, I think the Bears win at home tonight.
I know there were some super chats early that we didn't get to. Webb, I apologize. We didn't get to yours because it was going to get us completely derailed from what we were trying to do. Cody says Lolly, and I don't know who that is, will want to blow out Florida.
I think he's trying to say Lane.
Oh, put the nail in Billy's coffin after LSU.
I don't know if it'll go that far.
Hired Kelly. Everyone keeps saying that. I don't.
I think he's trying to say every time LSU loses, people say they should have hired Billy. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, LSU. I can promise you this: whoever loses the Florida LSU game, it will be they will definitely want to be fired by Monday. I can assure you that.
Life advice is brought to you by our good friend Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole, licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole states of Alabama and Georgia. Contact Cole at 706
Muscle Shoals.
Yep, 525-7850. You can also find him online at colewaltersinsurance.com. This is directed to you, dear Tyler. I have a medical question. I recall you saying you had a shoulder labrum procedure.
I did, and rotator cuff.
Would you mind sharing the name of the surgeon who did it and talk about your rehab process and approach? I ask because you appear to have suffered no loss of arm talent. I was really impressed last week with the speed and ease with which you threw your wife under the bus for hitting a deer while being your designated driver. Many younger, stronger men would have struggled. In fact, the only quicker release I've seen was Hugh Freeze when he was much younger back in the Bo Wallace era. Do you also rely on a regimen of frequent massages as the key to your shoulder health?
Is this really a question?
Yeah, I'm reading right from it. Your friend, redacted.
No, you can't say all that shit and not put your name on it. You know what I mean?
He didn't put his
name on it. You can't say all that shit.
It's redacted.
Dr. Schwinn in Jonesboro did my he was our team doctor. I think he may still be. Did my surgery, and I had 9 anchors put in and 3 tears of my rotator cuff done at the same time.
How about that?
Have you ever had shoulder surgery?
No, thank God.
Do you know what the suckiest part about shoulder surgery is? I will say this: if you can deal with like I had to get mine because mine was rolling up. Okay, I'll say this: this is my life advice about surgery. If you can deal with the pain, don't get cut.
Agreed.
If you can deal with the pain, don't get cut. The rehab really, really sucked on that. I was unfamiliar with that rehab. I honestly thought I was about to fight the physical therapist. The day they bring you the day after the surgery, I go in there and so they're like, okay, they put you in this big ass arm thing, right? And you're in there and you can't sleep laying down. You can't do this. You got to sleep in a chair. And they're like, don't move it, and do all this, do all that. Brother, they take you the day one. They take you out of the sling, and they're cranking this thing. Oh, like they took my arm and were cranking it. And Neal, it was my right arm.
Yeah,
I literally came up. I was like, dude. I was like, I had like angry words at him.
Yeah,
I was like, I had surgery yesterday. I've never heard of that. I'm sure it's normal.
I don't know, but
I was like, I had surgery yesterday, like less than 24 hours ago. I had surgery.
I know someone. I'm going to be careful here because I don't want to cause a problem. But I know someone who had a shoulder replacement.
Oh yeah, I'm going to one of those.
And very quickly went to rehab and had that same experience. And I'm telling you, they screwed it up. He ended up having to have another replacement. Probably should have sued the rehab place, but that's where the rehabs and the doctors are all in cahoots.
Yeah. So I don't know. I had 3 tears in my rotator cuff. I don't know because they knew that I tore my labrum. So I went. I don't mind telling you. So I tore it during the spring.
Yeah.
I was throwing hole shots, simulating quarterback throwing hole shots in cover 2. The last practice of spring practice, 14 before we played for the spring game, and we're out there, and I was throwing the hell out of it. And you know how you roll your ankle?
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt it pop, and I was like, oh gosh dang! I was like, something's wrong. So I let my GA finish throwing. And Neal, I'm not a big go to doctor guy. I never have been, but I played like as you know, you go into recruiting. Like I didn't pick up another football. I played golf, no issues, no pain, no nothing. I played golf all summer, the whole deal. And we had a women's clinic, right? The day before we reported. And I went out there and I was like, we had to do like these endo drills, whatever. And we went out there and on the field and they had balls out there. And I was like, me and my GA, I was like, let's see how the old wing's feeling. And I couldn't pick the ball up. I was like, oh, I got a problem. I mean, I couldn't, the day before we report to camp, I can't pick my arm up. So I guess it's fine now. They shot me up like I was a player for the whole season.
You told me about this, the Toradol and stuff.
Every 2 weeks, I got a cortisone shot from August until the end of the season, every 2 weeks. And then I got a Toradol shot every week. And I felt great. The cortisone's the best ever. I mean, I'm talking about, I don't know what's in that stuff, but it's the best ever. So when they finally did my MRI, they just like, hey, well, if you're not, because I couldn't have surgery in the season. I literally went the day after signing day. That was when there was only one signing day in February because you couldn't drive with it, right? So I went the day after signing day. I had gone to that week on like Tuesday of the week of signing day. I went and got my MRI, and he was like, hey, you also got 3 tears in your rotator cuff. And so they stitched 1 and scooped 2. So I had rotator cuff surgery and labrum surgery at the same time. It sucked.
It's not good.
It sucked.
We will be back on Thursday with another show. I will tell you again, this one's been brought to you by our good friends at Reign, Total Body Fuel. Reign, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, 0 sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits, achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Reign Body Fuel to learn more.
Remember, we're brought to you by Kia of Meridian, and you can get there right now. All the 70 brand new vehicles, and you can get them as low as $379 a month. I encourage you to check out that Telluride because those things are awesome. And you can give them a call at 601-483-6444. And don't forget, when you purchase one, Trav's going to pull it out, and you're going to get to spin the wheel and win awesome prizes like a PS5, an Xbox, a TV, more. So check them out at Kia of Meridian. We're also brought to you by our good friends at County Line Campers, the official RV dealer of McCready and Siskey. They're open 7 days a week, 365 days a year, right there off I-10, exit 38 in Gulfport, Mississippi. I will be live there next Monday doing the show. 1 week from today, we'll be live there doing the show. But if you need to get your RV service, that time of the year, you need to get your RV serviced, or you just need to buy one. Go see them at County Line Campers. They got the best service department in America. Also brought to you by Prime. That's right. GetPrime.com, GetPrym.com. What is that? That's a way for you to check your hormones, your energy level, your metabolism, or just your overall wellness. You order it. They'll send you a kit, no needles. You'll get your results. You get a FedEx. It'll FedEx to them the next day. They're going to get your results right now. And what they're going to do is they're going to get you in line with some clinics and get you taken care of. That your next steps, like your peptides, your protocols, and your real strategies to help you feel the best. So make sure you go to getprime.com, GetPrym.com. And don't forget to enter the promo code MPW at checkout. You can get 20% off. And finally, if you can't tell the hat, because I know it's dark, it's kind of a dark logo, but shout out to Don, shot me the hat today, wearing that Thompson's Paint and Body Shop hat today. But the real family-owned body shop in the heart of Saraland, right off of I-65, exit 13 in Saraland, Alabama. You get a real family business that's going to take care of you, not some corporate BS that's going to get you shipping all over to every different operator you can find, because Don Jr., somebody's going to pick up the phone and take care of you. Doesn't matter where you're located. If your car needs some TLC, skip that corporate machine and give them a call at 251-675-0884 and check them out at thompsonsbodyshop.com.
See you guys on Thursday. Thanks to everybody for being in the stream. Thanks to AJ for his time. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Take care.